Hello, Guardians. Welcome back to Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. I am one of your hosts, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, as always, is the emissary of the nine, Josh Finney.
Man. Corey.
Josh, is your fate predestined?
No, Guardians make their own fate, buddy. Oh my god, I gotta turn this light down.
Are you sure? Because the game seems to suggest that you don't.
No, Guardians do make their own fate. There's a line towards the end where one of the antagonists, which we're going to get into it when we get into spoilers, goes, "It's time to see if Guardians really do make their own fate." And I was like, it was the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. They said the thing. They said the thing. I was so happy. Man, can I just say, like, we're gonna go straight into spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, turn this episode off. Come back when you finish the campaign.
Yeah, big spoiler warning.
Big spoiler. This whole episode is a spoiler warning. We'll talk some gear and about Kepler after, but it's kind of impossible to talk about any of this without getting spoilery. So, without further ado, Corey, Edge Fate.
I
want to know just surface level gut reaction if you had to give it to me in 2 sentences.
Yep. I'm going to preface this by saying I didn't look up any videos. I didn't see what anybody else was saying. Yep. I've been really...
Same.
I think the story is really intriguing and Lodi is an excellent character. I think the campaign is good. Definitely not on the level of Final Shape, but I think this is the soft reset Destiny needed.
Yeah.
That's my elevator pitch of my thoughts.
Yeah, my elevator pitch is this is instantly a top 3 Destiny story.
Yeah.
Just right away, this is a top 3 Destiny story. It's pretty... I don't understand how you could argue otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess if you don't give a shit about the lore, maybe, or you don't care about story, but this is the soft reboot that we needed. And for me, it's almost like a 1B to the Final Shapes 1A. And I want to explain that as we start getting into that, why I feel that way. The Final Shape, I think, part of the reason we rank it so high is, I mean, it is a wonderfully made experience. It's a very linear destination, though.
Oh, yeah.
The Pale Heart's very linear. There's not a lot of backtracking. You're constantly going forward because you're going towards the monolith, right?
Yep.
And I think that was really cool because other campaigns have been in a circle for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a really cool approach, similar to how I like how the Edge of Fate handles it, where it is, you very clearly can see the Metroid Prime influences. They said Metroidvania. I see Metroid Prime 2 all over this.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Ed about this. I was like, man, this sure is a Metroid Prime game.
Yeah, this is the real Metroid Prime 4. Sorry, Nintendo, you're gonna have to retitle it to Metroid Prime 5. This is like great value Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock at all.
Yeah.
I would swear that Retro Studios made the ball movement and the ball animations, but this game does something that I really had to sit there and think about. They explain things to you as if you were a new player, but there's also better explanation, like where if you're a new player, you could instantly understand what's going on here.
Yes.
Because you're seeing it through the lens of Lodi as a new character, whereas us, the seasoned player, we're seeing everything through Guardian, Drifter, Ghost, and Ikora.
Right. That's exactly what my thoughts were. Was like, okay, so this is clearly meant to engage new players, but Lodi is the kind of the vessel for the new player. And it's like Lodi is obviously learning everything for the first time. Right. So,
yeah.
And then Ghost chimes in a little bit too of like, oh yeah, we've had our mix in with the Vex or whatever, right? When Lodi is trying to figure something out, Ghost comes in and said, yeah, we've handled them before. And I wonder if that dialogue is different for new players.
So there is some dialogue that is different. I have noticed that because when there was a friend of mine who was the fire team leader. I was playing with Joasis, and he had a mission, and it played when we were in the final mission. It said, "Come, Slayer of Oryx." When I did the mission with Johnny yesterday, and he was the fire team leader because he brought his character over from Destiny 1, it said, "Come, young wolf."
Oh,
so there is some veteran change-up dialogue. There's some stuff for like hunters in there, I know, but Yeah, I found the narrative really engaging, and it's funny because like I can excuse the goofiness of like the villain is the Archon, because
Mm-hmm.
the Archon isn't the real villain. The Archon is like just a red herring because we encounter Maya Sundaresh about halfway
Mm-hmm.
through the campaign.
Yep.
And it's funny because last year, going into episodes, they said that Revenant and especially Heresy were going to lay the seeds for what's coming next. Echoes is, as of this exact moment, this is before we get to like seasonal content on Monday and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
right now is the most important thing is the Encore mission. In more than a few ways. Encore is the most important thing that happened. Because
Yep.
we got the backstory of Maya and Shioma, we found out why Maya has gone nuts as the conductor, this and that, doing those missions on Nessus. Like, as much as I complained about Echoes, it's like, wow, Echoes actually did set the stage for what's coming. I still think it's you get to the end of the campaign, you find out like 3 is the 9 member who summoned you. You find that out.
Yep.
And you're working with Orin. God, how good is it seeing Paladin Orin in the flesh again? It's so nice.
Awesome.
And not as the emissary. So cool. Lodi is implied, not even implied, straight up said that he's going to be the new emissary.
Yeah.
And you're fighting through this final mission. And I hope everybody listens to the dialogue that's happening, because Drifter is very consequential in this, even though he doesn't get a ton of screen time. He's very consequential because Orin, I'm trying to keep everybody sure. Orin suddenly remembers what 3 wanted her to tell Drifter, and that she wasn't allowed to tell him for the longest time. She's finally able to tell him during the message, during the final mission.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the haul. Mm-hmm. And you're hearing Drifter through the comms, like, oh my God, it's getting hairy up here, blah, blah, blah. And when you finish the mission, he goes, wait, what if this is what the haul is for?
Yeah.
And it's one of 2 fake out moments in the campaign. I was like, oh my God, I really thought in the penultimate mission, are we going to lose Ikora?
Yeah. I thought that the whole time, honestly, like, especially because like a lot of the story, like, kind of revolves around her past.
It revolves around Ikora and Lodi, yeah, that they knew each other in the past. They worked for not the CIA, but something that's basically this universe's equivalent.
The Federal Bureau of Control, I think. This is Alan Wake 3 story.
Is Jesse showing up? But they show that, and that these 2 actually knew each other in their previous life. And that's why Lodi was so shocked when she showed up. Because for him, it's only been a couple weeks.
Yeah. It's so great. It's so crazy. Like, when you like, because I kind of didn't. Apparently, like, the first mission was shown, like, I guess we kind of talked about it, but like the first mission was shown off by a lot of content creators, and like that cutscene is in a lot of those, and it's like I didn't watch that stuff, so when I was like, does he know Ikora? Like, and then you start thinking about it. Oh, are they from the same time period? Like, he clearly recognizes her, but how does he recognize her? Like, that was a cool twist, like almost immediately, that I didn't really see coming.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that as somebody who did not watch any of the first mission or any of the gameplay that was really posted outside of like Portal gameplay from Datto. I really, really, really enjoyed going in blind for this, and also that they just did not publicize like a lot of the story. We spent weeks making fun of Lodi and being like, not us specifically in the show, but like as a community, and like I certainly did, being like, oh my God, Lodi just seems so boring. Like, they're not showing us anything about him. And then, man, I gotta say, I'm so happy to eat my words. Lodi is the best new character in this franchise in years.
Yeah.
I would argue since Crow, he is the best new character.
Yeah, Crow. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I like Finch, but they just haven't done anything with Finch. Nobody likes Nimbus.
No. Are you really? Nobody likes Nimbus?
Nobody likes
Nimbus. Sure?
I'm sure. Well, okay, I won't go all the way back to Crow. I'll go back to Savathun. Deborah Wilson is phenomenal as Savathun.
She's phenomenal as Ikora, apparently.
So they did say that is just a placeholder. That Ikora's voice actress and a couple of the other voice actors are no longer on strike with the VGA and will be re-recording their dialogue as soon as possible for this.
Yeah,
they didn't want another Heresy situation, was the explanation we got.
Yeah,
which is good. You can't you seasonal content. It's still rough, but going into an expansion without your main voice talent is hard.
Yeah,
it would be one thing like if it was Zavala's actor and like, oh, we just need to record like 2 lines of dialogue for Keith David, right?
Right.
But not being able to have Ikora's voice actor is rough.
Yeah.
And I think Deborah Wilson does as good as she can. And there were a few places where I was like, it took a little bit of getting used to, but now I've heard her talk so much that's like, it feels kind of natural now.
Yeah, and you said they're going to replace that dialogue.
They've already announced it. They announced it. They announced it a couple days before night before the expansion. They announced that they'll be getting them to record the dialogue as soon as possible.
That's cool for consistency. I thought Deborah Wilson did a pretty decent job, right?
I think she did good. There was one particular, and it's the mission where the aforementioned fake out, where I was like, okay, the Sabathun is coming through a little bit here. Yeah. And it didn't feel like Ikora, it felt like Deborah Wilson as Ikora, kind of like Nolan North is suddenly Ghost now.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like for me.
Yeah, well, it kind of felt like when Nolan North replaced Nathan Fillion.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it felt like. Like, oh, I mean, you can't tell until you can tell, right? I mean, yeah, it sounds a little bit different, but then like you hear it come out and you're like, oh, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm overall okay with it, but they really make you think she's gonna die because Lodi, Lewis, as he was known in the past, goes, Miss Ikora, were you holding that thing together on your own? It's basically implied that she just kept dying over and over, and her ghost just kept rezzing her.
Mm-hmm.
And after Ikora is like, yeah, I haven't had to be rezzed in a long time, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing full well that like if I die here, I die here, but the 9 brought us for a reason. If this is the reason I'm here is to make sure that the Guardian and the Ionians live, then so be it.
Yeah.
And I love the line when they realize that the 9 have abandoned them. Lodi keeps calling out to them and trying to talk to them and this and that. And he has a line right before you go into the boss fight. He's like, they've forsaken us. They just keep showing me images of the collapse. They basically are laughing in his face.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've already established not all members of the 9 are going to be willing to help us. Not all of them want to. It's a 4-4 vote on if they're going to help us or not at the end of the campaign, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And they're basically just torturing Lodi. And Ikora goes, we don't need gods. I put my faith in the Guardian. I was out of my fucking chair fist pumping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was a fuck yeah moment. I genuinely thought we were in the final mission at that point. I actually really thought we were in the final mission. And then, boom, we get another mission right after. And then that, of course, that's a slog of a mission getting through that. But you're getting through it. You beat the Archon, and Drifter drops the haul off. You think Drifter's about to die, too. And he's accepted it. Him going, can we appreciate the character growth of Drifter over the last couple years?
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I would say pre-Lightfall, this dude would have run.
Yeah.
This dude would have run.
He said as much, right? Like he was ready to run.
Yep. He goes, I'm not running this time. I would have. I'm not running this time. And he goes full speed ahead. The screen starts going white. And you're like, oh my God, are they going to kill Drifter off after he finally found happiness with Eris? We had to watch the anguish of him losing her, the relief of her being alive. Him and Orin used to have a relationship years and years ago. He's telling her like, I'm kind of banging Eris now, We're kind of moved into her creepy ass apartment in the city.
Yeah, they had a moment where like she he was kind of she was kind of like surprised, but not really. Because the 9, as a member of the 9 or as their voice, she's gotten visions of the future, so she knows what was going to happen. Yeah,
and I thought that was really cool and she has a moment where, and this is something I've fixated on with Orin, where she goes, and it's right before Drifter, or it's when Drifter's taking heavy fire. In like the middle of the mission, he goes, I'm under heavy fire here. And she goes, oh no, oh God, this is how it happens, isn't it? And I'm like, what's happening? Is Drifter gonna fucking die?
Right.
And relief, he doesn't. Lodi nearly does. We heal him with a healing nade. I want to note a healing nade has never done that for me. But we slap a healing nade on him and he just looks a little weird now with a funky eye. But three is brought back to life by the hull, which is mysteriously back behind the drifter ship, by the way. I find that very funny. He's like, it's back, it's back.
Yeah.
It just showed back up. Like, I did find it funny that he banked the ultimate moat. All those years of Gambit finally paid off, because we collect moats for the coolant and stuff. That I just thought that was cosmically hilarious.
Yeah.
And of course they didn't plan that when they brought Drifter, and they didn't really have an end game plan when they brought Drifter in, right?
Right.
And that's why it took so many years to get characterization going. But something that 3 says through life. So 3, it's implied 3 comes back to life to give us the message, and then is killed by Maya Sundaresh. I had a hard time figuring out if this is because I think 3 was killed by Maya when he refused to give her his power, essentially, or their power. They refused to give him their power.
Yeah.
Because Maya's like, you break rules all the time, but you won't break this one. And her, like, we've said it before, like, her purpose is noble. Trying to reset the timeline to where, you know, the collapse never happened. With her knowledge, she wants to prevent it. And it's like, well, if Elsie couldn't, then you can't. And the implication that the 9 had Ghost resurrect us at the exact moment in time that they did, so that we would be here. They engineered Ikora's death in the previous timeline. So we can assume that means they engineered our death as well. I assume we'll see that in a future expansion.
Right.
You know, probably in the last one of the Fate Saga. And they call us the weapon and this and that. Like, it is a really cool moniker, but 3 basically gives us the juice that we need and says, 3 comes back to life, but can only speak through Lodi, takes over Lodi's body temporarily because the 9 cannot materially exist in this plane.
Yeah.
Which I find really interesting. That's why they used the emissary. That's why they're going to use Lodi to speak through. They used Orin for so many years. They called Zur a mistake. Zur was a mishap.
Yeah.
Essentially, Zur was supposed to be a vessel for them, and they fucked up.
Yeah.
So his will is not his own is still really, that makes it even funnier to me. I can't wait for him to show up tomorrow. I hope that there's some dialogue or a quest from Zur tomorrow. I think that would be absolutely fantastic, but just the idea that the 9 could have stepped in at any time they wanted to and helped, and they didn't. They set Skolas upon us, for God's sake, you know? And they knew about the Cabal fleet coming, and we know from the Lord, they helped interfere with the comms so that the Reef could not warn the city.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, okay, so they did all this. They engineered everything that has happened essentially up to this point to make sure that we are on Kepler at this exact moment, giving us the exact help we need when we need it, and setting things upon us to make us stronger is the way that I interpret what's happening. And 3 tells us you have to bind the 9. And we know that it was a 4-4 vote on who was going to help us and who wasn't. So I wonder, this is going to be published about 36 hours, 24 to 36 hours before the raid comes out. I'm so interested in Desert Perpetual now. Like, who are we fighting there? Is it Maya? Is it one of the 9 maybe? Like, are we going to fight a member of the 9?
Like, are they going to be like the dungeon and raid bosses from now on? Like,
yeah, I don't
like by the time
I don't think so. I think that would get really gimmicky and really old really fast. I would like for 1 to be taken out here. I would like for us to deal with I think we're going to deal with Maya and either Zivu-Arath or Savathun in 1. Because there's only 1 raid a year. And they've already said this is a shorter saga. My guess is a 3 to 4 year saga.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you have to take down at least 1 member of the 9 in the final raid of this saga, though. If we don't take 1 down here, that's guaranteed to be the last one that we do. Unless this is all a red herring, there's something else happening. Like maybe binding the 9 is actually saving the 9. You know, not just defeating them. Like maybe we do have to defeat them to like bind them. You know, the 9 rings for the kings of men. You know, Lord of the Rings style shit.
Yeah, or like maybe like you side, you side with one half, and then you, like the last.
I do feel like that is coming. I feel like that's coming.
And like the last raid of this saga or whatever is the other 4, and like each of them is an encounter or something.
That would be really cool. I do think that there's going to be like some red herring, right? Because coming out of Destiny 1, vanilla D1, we all thought, oh, they're setting up like the Vex to be this big bad. Like the Vex are worshiping this black heart. Like, what the fuck is the darkness? And obviously they didn't know at the time what form that was going to take, but like Oryx would have ultimately been the big bad of V1 if they had left the Dreadnought content in there. Instead, we get Crota's End, we get Voltaglass, Crota's End, and then we get King's Fall.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not really a cohesive vision outside of Taken King. Going into Destiny 2, for that first year, all the raid and the 2 raid layers are all Leviathan themed. It's all Callus themed, and you think it's building up to Callus. They pull a fast one on us by killing off Cade, and Forsaken, as good as it is still just kind of like there.
Yeah.
But with Shadowkeep, we see the pyramid, like you had the one post-credit scene of the pyramid ships, right? And then you see the pyramid on the moon, and you're like, oh my god. Like, oh my god, this is happening. This is a real thing that's happening.
Yeah.
And the narrative just kind of starts taking off. Not really from there. Like, I would really argue it starts with Arrivals. Mm-hmm. Arrivals is when it kicks into high gear. But you go on this great 3 or 4 year epic that builds to the Witness. Like, we didn't even know the Witness until the Witch Queen.
Yeah.
We see him we hear about him in the Witch Queen, and then we see him, did we see him in Witch Queen, or was it in Lightfall for the first time?
I think it was the end of Lightfall. No, Beyond Light.
No, it wasn't Beyond Light.
Lightfall. It was Witch Queen then, because it was earlier than Lightfall. Because the Witness was in Lightfall because of Cat.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So it was at least the Witch Queen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the first. Yeah, Witch Queen campaign. That's when we first see it.
Yep.
That's when we first see him. Okay, I had to go. It's been a long time since I played these campaigns, guys. They've all kind of blended together, but
it's all one saga, Josh.
Taking all that into, it's also very funny how the Traveler is just totally absent from this.
Oh yeah, I
actually really love that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we kind of like solved that problem, right? I mean,
we did, but I mean, we still get our powers from the Traveler, and I mean, there is the implication that the 9 have something to do with the Traveler also, because Ghost is like, when Ghost says, wait, are you telling me that the 9 engineered me resurrecting the Guardian exactly when I did for this moment? And yeah, that's kind of intriguing, I think. I think that's a way to keep the Traveler involved in the story. Like, did the 9 create the Traveler as this device to get the Guardians to a specific point in time that they needed to be? And 3 and his faction, essentially, or their faction, I'm saying his, just as like a nomial thing, is their faction, you know, the ones that have continued pressing forward, like, for everything that the others have dropped. You know, maybe 3 was like a deciding vote, or others wavered here and there. Like, you know, setting Skowas off, maybe these guys were like, okay, well, that happened. Remember what they did at the end of House of Wolves, at the very, like, last couple weeks of that before we went into Taken King, and Orin got sold by Xur? How cool would it be if that had been, like, and now I'm starting to think, like, was that a story beat? Like, is that retroactively a story beat now? Like, oh, the Guardians need more weapons. We got to give them the ultimate weapon now. We got to give them the ultimate weapon.
That would be
because
cool.
Xur's will is not his own. That's a cool thing to think about, I think, now. And like, oh, Xur just had Choir of One and Slayer's Fang. So like, I think that's a cool, like, meta commentary to think back in my mind about. Obviously, that wasn't the plan 10 years ago, but now retroactively, that's a cool thing to think about, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to think about now, right?
So I like that, you know, like, I like the idea of like, oh, we're like prophecy, and like, there's eternity. Are those tests for us? Mm-hmm. You know, we know Gambit was training us, and we always assumed Gambit was training us to fight against the darkness, because that's what Drifter thought it was. No, it was training us for this moment. Yeah, it's for this moment right here. Banking the moats. I'm telling you, banking the moats saved us. It's the activity. I think it's so funny that that's the activity on Kepler, the sieve, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But I think that's just outstanding. It's so good. Ikora is great. Lodi is great. This is really the first major characterization we've gotten on Ikora in years.
Yeah,
it makes sense why she founded the Hidden.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time, right? I mean,
probably never. I really struggle to think of any. There's never been an expansion that's focused on Ikora.
No.
And even Zavala really didn't get characterization until Haunted.
Yeah.
So we got Zavala's backstory, and that was still him as a guardian. I will say I laughed out loud when you see somebody handing the piece of paper to Ikora's past self before she runs out of the office, and that's what causes Lodi to hear the phone ringing.
Yeah.
I laughed really hard because I was like, I said out loud, I was like, watch this be Zavala handing her a piece of paper. And then I was like, that would be too Cade. On the nose for Destiny.
It would have been interesting if it was Cade.
I would have been really upset. So like
not like robot Cade, but like human Cade.
Sure. I still would have been upset.
Yeah.
I would have been really bummed. I wouldn't have liked it. We also know Cade was alive a lot later than Ikora, though.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, we kind of know that about Zavala too, I guess. Like now that I think about it, because Zavala's unawoken. Like he was on the Exodus ships.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Never mind. My dumb theories are just that. They're dumb. That's what happens when you watch so many shows with like metaverses and meta commentaries on everything. Everything has to be connected.
Yeah.
I was really
not everything's connected, Josh.
Thank God, because this is a really, really good story. But with a great story comes some frustrating things. I don't share the same criticism that a lot of other people seem to be about these powers. But I will say,
what are they saying?
They're like, oh my God, there's an over reliance on them. They were shoved down our throats. I 100% agree with it to an extent. I think, especially in the first third of the campaign, Matter Spark is forced on you so badly that it was just not fun at first. And then I started having a good time because we got other abilities. We met Lodi. We started doing the missions. Right about the time you get the portal gun is when I was like, okay, because that was the path I went down first. I did the portal gun stuff. I had a lot of fun with that. And that's when, we got the mission where you're bouncing between the rooms and stuff like we saw in some of the gameplay from the streams that Bungie themselves did. That's when I bought in and was like, yeah, this is awesome. This is really cool. And I like getting Mattermorph finally unlocked a lot of things. I think it would have been a little bit better if we got Mattermorph earlier. It was really annoying how that was held for a while, especially considering that's something that I feel is more intrinsically needed than the gravity cannon. I'm just calling it's the relocator. I'm calling it the gravity cannon just because I can. I've called it the gravity gun for 3 straight days. It's not changing. I played too much Portal. But as good as I think the powers are, I also understand that there are players who are getting motion sick from turning into the ball, and especially when it goes in the first person view. I totally understand that. I was starting to get a bit of a headache looking at it on my big ass TV after 10 hours. I do find it very funny that it replaces your Sparrow and Skimmer on Kepler. That is very, very funny to me. The whole campaign, I was just like, dear God, please give me a Sparrow. And at the end of the campaign, nope, you can Matter Spark. So I don't think the powers are necessarily bad. I don't love that they locked. I mean, I don't think Fabled is that hard to do, frankly. Or it shouldn't be, at least. Legendary was a joke, and Mythic wasn't that bad outside of a few encounters. But I still don't love that they lock Matter Spark 4 behind that, because now Matter Spark 4 allows you to heal while you're in ball form. And it reloads your weapons as long as you're in ball form for 3 seconds.
Well, that's cool.
And I think that the arc attacks cause Volt Shot as well, instead of just disorienting. I mean, they always did damage, but now they cause Volt Shot also. And that feels like it's kind of important going into the raid, which I presume will use these mechanics.
Yeah, I would assume that's why they force them on you to.
I assume so too. And I think maybe like 20% less abilities in the campaign would have been amenable, because you used them so much in the post game.
Yeah,
they are there for the secrets and the traversal to an extent, right? That hand cannon, oh my God, getting some of the puzzles for some of those intrinsics. I looked at how much I have left to do the perks. I have all 3 intrinsics, but I have so many perks that go. You have to do 3 things for each perk, and you have to do them on mythic difficulty, from my understanding. The intrinsics you can do on any difficulty, but I think that the other stuff you have to do all that on mythic. So I do think that, when we talk about the campaign as a whole, I do like the abilities. I do think they're a little heavy-handed, but I think that they were also integrated better. I think everybody just has PTSD from Lightfall because Strand was so forced on you, and then they would yank it away from you, and you had to go through like the Strand motion sickness, and like we had that with Stasis. I've been playing through Beyond Light on my Warlock lately, and I am just not enjoying how I get the powers and then they yank them away. It's really aggravating.
Yeah.
That, I think, is really jarring. We didn't get that with Transcendent, thank God.
At least you don't have Osiris yelling, Strand!
No.
Strand!
Oh my God.
You'll get there.
I forgot about that. I did remember the fucking training montage we take time out of the campaign to do, though, and do a time trial. So dumb. I did not enjoy that at all. The more that I think about it, God, that has aged terribly. But by and large, I do like these abilities. The one thing I would change, I think, about them is Matter Spark Banes should not be a thing on anything below like Fabled or Mythic.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion. There were way too damn many of them on Legendary, and I think, that's a thing I would say for Fabled, for Mythic, for raids and dungeons. Just, they're going to do a dungeon with these mechanics now, too, because you don't just make these mechanics and then only use them for a campaign space.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to appear periodically throughout the entire saga, honestly.
I don't think so, because they did say this is, and the way it's explained, this is specific to Kepler. It's the dark matter on Kepler, like the plant grows there that you use to create the Mattermorph platforms. I'm okay with keeping it there, because I do think then you're asking people to remember too many mechanics for too many different planets. They still want to be able to sell sparrows and
well, I'm not saying just I'm not saying like it's going to appear in like other campaigns on other planets. I'm saying like
sure.
The like future dungeons and raids might also
for sure, right? For sure. I think Endgame is where you're going to see it. Maybe some seasonal activities. I think it's easier to integrate there.
Yeah. So that was where I was going with that.
Yeah. Overall, though, I don't think the abilities are that bad. I do not agree with anybody who some of the most reactionary takes I've seen is people saying that this is just a straight up bad campaign, that if you like this, you don't like anything about Destiny, blah, blah, blah. I have seen folks saying that this is as bad as Shadowkeep or Lightfall.
No way.
I saw one person compare it to Curse of Osiris. It is absolutely asinine if you think that at all.
I think that person did.
I don't respect your opinion at all at that point. I can respect a difference of opinion. I cannot respect that specific opinion. I think if you were to come to me and say, yeah, I don't think it's like a top 2 or 3. I think it's more like, a top 5 or something. Like I could feasibly see somebody saying, in terms of story content, Final Shape, Witch Queen, Forsaken, and maybe the Taken King are ahead of it. I could argue that all 4 of those have an argument to be ahead of it, for sure.
Yeah.
And in terms of like, those were game-changing moments for the franchise. I think this is a game-changing moment for the franchise, but there is a stark contrast between those 5 campaigns and everything else.
Yeah.
There is a vast quality depth. My concern going forward is, I know we're getting 2 expansions a year. The narrative team had an entire year to cook on this one.
Yeah.
Do we have 2 campaign teams now? Like, I feel like these are things that need to be told to us.
Yeah.
One thing that does give me some reassuring feelings is them coming out and saying, we already have an endpoint in mind for this saga. We already know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
And that this is going to be a much shorter thing than Light and Dark, because I'm sorry, regardless of how I may feel about this, and I think this breathes a lot of new life into the game with a lot of other things that we're going to get into, it's no secret that the player base has dropped dramatically post Final Shape, and a lot of that's due to the content, but also just a lot of players that I personally know were like, man, this is a great jumping off point for me. Yeah. I wanted to see how this ended. They delivered a satisfying ending, and I don't want to see them taint it.
Yeah.
And I totally respect that, because that's where I thought I was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, we both did. I mean, we talked about how the show is going to end at some point, right? I mean...
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something. Heresy did a lot for saving me.
Yeah, I mean, Heresy did a lot for a lot of reasons. Honestly, I feel like Heresy.
Yeah.
It was definitely the best episode. It was definitely the best post Final Shape piece of content.
That's not even a question.
And I think this is, like I said, it's definitely not the best campaign they've ever done, right? Like, I mean, I would probably put it in a top 5. Honestly, I really think the story's great and everything, but like, with how kind of personal the story is and like kind of them resetting, like this is, like I said, this is what they needed. I feel like to kind of set the tone, right? This is what they needed, and the fact that they have already planned it out instead of just like, I don't know, guessing, right? Like that, like you said, it puts a lot of confidence back in the team to like, this is cool. So
I also want to just point out how we got one of the best campaigns we've ever gotten when we were afraid that with the different price point there wasn't going to be much. I would argue this is the most jam-packed destination we've gotten. I mean, at least right off the rip, because you have a 14 mission campaign.
Yeah.
You have about 20 side quests that you get throughout that, or you can do after. You get an exotic quest in there, and the exotic quest itself is whatever. Yeah. But going and hunting down the perks and the intrinsics is going to be time consuming. You're going to have to master these abilities. And frankly, that's how it should be. There's 4 different difficulties. I'm all in on world tiers now.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger the world tier, the better the loot. I'm a big fan of that. It's very Diablo-esque. I like that a lot. We've talked about the characters that they've added, and there's a lot of QOL. Like, this is pretty much Destiny 3 in all but name.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. It's a very good thing and a very healthy thing. One that I argue should have probably happened with Witch Queen. Yeah. I will forever wonder what the last third of Light and Dark looks like, Witch Queen, Lightfall, and Final Shape, if they had this type of gear and leveling and world tiers and things of that nature.
It would have been a totally, like, I mean, as great as Witch Queen and Final Shape were, well, obviously not Lightfall, but
it would have been a better experience. It would have been a better in-game player experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, set bonuses, it's wild that we didn't have this before.
Yeah.
The Bushido set that you can get from the endgame portal stuff is already immediately one of the best. 2 pieces of armor. When you reload, you heal. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's an awesome set. You best believe I'm already putting that into my set. And figuring out how I want to build the stats. The stats have never been easier to understand. And again, like, there's some growing pains, and I guess let's go ahead and get into some of this. Let's go ahead and get into Portal first. I want to save gear because I really love the gear changes. Let's talk about Portal for a minute, though, because I think we were all worried about Portal.
Yeah.
For good reason. I still don't love the Portal. I want to be very, very clear about that. And part of that's because I play on Xbox and it's fucking bugged right now, and it's pissing me off. Because Xbox, you will randomly get booted during a playlist activity. I've determined it is only match-made activities that it will happen to.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically things you launch in the Portal or the Sieve activity that you launch on Kepler. Mm-hmm. Those are the things I have been booted from. But every time I tried 4 Encore runs last night. Every single run, like clockwork, 15 seconds in, boom, booted. And it's not just booted. It is the game hard crashes to dashboard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a known issue on Xbox. They are apparently trying to get this fixed before the raid race on Saturday. I really hope they do, because I don't want that getting adjusted for any reason whatsoever. But then you have things like, we're all sitting here grinding Encore because it was giving so many drops it shouldn't be giving from the final chest. You were getting like 6 pinnacle rewards from the chest every run. So for somebody like me who was under level doing these last night, I was jumping up like almost 10 levels a run. And that's not a joke. So people who were above me, who were already, because the other chests in the activity and other rewards will cap at 200, but that will continue dropping powerful gear. So people were just grinding Encore repeatedly. If you speedrun it, you can do Encore in 12 minutes. You need 12 minutes or less. Every run I did last night was under 12 minutes. Thanks to Eager Edge. Eager Edge and things like well skating. So, in fact, no, I don't even think there was a single well skate. It was just eager edging all over the place. Eager edging and grappling. So, And I was on foot for most of it. I would just join. I would join at first chest. So after the hallway of death is when I would join, and I would just run through the rest of the mission at that point. And it only would take us like 7 minutes from there to the end.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's absolutely asinine. But, you know, it became a really reliable thing. Bungie disabled it without warning this afternoon, and it pissed off a fair amount of people. And I want to give some context for why this is pissing people off, because I think Milo gave a really good breakdown of this. I want to pull up exactly what Milo said in response to all this, because it is controversial. For good reason, it's controversial. I don't love it, but I'm not going to read everything because Milo wrote a fucking novel here. But totally understand the tricky situation here. You have two ways you can go. Option A, leave Encore untouched, and having all raid racers grind to 450 power in 4 days would mean the power grind is over before it even starts. This hurts players' enjoyment long term and hurts player retention, which is bad for the health of the game. Totally agree. Removing Encore now, though, means that some people have already grinded to significant power 300 plus, while others were planning to start today, creating unbalance in those who were raid racing. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. I had kind of come down where Milo does and said that I would have left this active until contest mode started.
Mm-hmm.
I would have left this active for another 48 hours, or even just put something in the TWID today and said, hey, we're going to leave this active. We know this is an issue, but at daily reset tomorrow, it's gone. You have one more night to get grinding in. Now there is a severe discrepancy of people who grinded to 300 basically without stopping. And those people now can farm tier 3 and 4 loot just endlessly in the portal. The rest of us cannot.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of us now have a much harder grind ahead of us. And that sucks. That feels bad. And I think that does create an issue for the raid race, because now you have better armor, you have better weapons, you're getting tier 4 and 5 rewards, not regularly, but you at least have a shot at tier 5 rewards there, and you can farm tier 4 out. The rest of us kind of have to just go grind Kepler shit now. You have to do the mythic stuff, to do the mythic campaign, and then you have to grind on mythic in Kepler to try and get those tier 4s. You can buy tier 3 engrams now, but once you get the 350 power, you can permanently buy I think it's tier 3 or 4 rewards, and when you get to 450, you will permanently be able to buy tier 4. I think it's tier 3 and tier 4 respectively. When you get to 350 and 450, you can permanently buy those engrams, a certain amount every day from the vendors. That's wild to me. That is the only thing I take an issue with here, with disabling it when you did and how you announced it, is that now some people have just no-lifed their way into it, and it's some of the best players in the world, right? Like Defizzle was one of the ones who was doing it, and I'm not calling Defizzle out for it or anything, but it's over 300 power right now. Now, he can kind of take his time just grinding that out if he wants to. He's going to day 1 raid, but he can kind of take his time now doing anything else, because he's going to be one of the only people in the world who can grind tier 4 gear reliably.
Mm-hmm.
And can grind above 300. Remember, at the end of the season, we're all going to be reset to 200. I think with the first major update, we're going to be taken from like 450 down to 300 or 350 or something, and then have to regrind those last 100 levels. But at the end, and when Renegades comes out, we'll all be reset to 200. But man, that sucks. And it sucks more that it was an activity. And there was discourse about this for 2 days before they disabled it. There's no way they didn't know. I think part of it was, okay, we're going to let them get their fun in. Because if they had killed it right away, people would have screamed even more, I think.
Yeah.
So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the issue, and this is what Milo says, and this is what I want to specifically bring out what he says. The main issue with this is that the portal is infinitely grindable by design. Bungie has encouraged people to play the way they want to play, and they know full well raid racers are going to play whatever gets them the biggest advantage the quickest. Example, grinding Encore. And yet, when that inevitably is played out in front of us, we're getting this change to nerf what they were doing. Play the way you want to play, except when it's too fast. I don't know if this uncomfy decision now is ultimately the better of two evils and will be healthier for the game long term. I don't think any of us can truly know that. We simply don't have that data in front of us. But what I can say with certainty is the following. This was obviously going to be controversial no matter what. The way Bungie announced this could have been way better. I commend the devs for trying to be communicative this year, and I think largely the comms have been really solid. But this specific instance, it feels terse and doesn't really invite much goodwill from the player base to hear out why Bungie is making the decision this way. There is a world where they explain leaving it the way it is a problem for the long-term health of the game, which the player should be amenable to. The player should be in favor of things that help the game's long-term health, so this gets them on Bungie's side. They get players advance warning in the tweet earlier today, and they maybe make it a win for people by giving out, I don't know, an emblem or something to appease people a little further, and bam, sentiment around the change would at least be not quite as bitter as it is right now. And then he goes on to say, sentiment towards Bungie is often so negative that I think even in the scenario where they did the above, people would still be crucifying them for it just as much. And that's why it's so important to push back against the endlessly negative people in the community. Because otherwise, if Bungie has no upside to do things better, why bother? So I largely agree with what Milo says. When it comes to portal activities, I do like that they are grindable by design. There are solo and fire team ops that will give you the bonus drops, though. Like, yeah, they're not giving you the pinnacle power, okay, but you're still getting bonus drops. You're still advancing. It's a looter shooter. Play the fucking game and grind.
Yeah.
I just think it really sucks when this is happening right at the beginning of a new saga, right before a raid race. That's what makes this
right
feel
before
bad.
The raid race is the kicker, right?
Yes, and that's why I think I would have left it active until World's First to give everybody an even playing field for World's First, and then you just nuke the shit out of it Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's
especially because, like, man, it's a work week. I think more people are going to attempt the race on Saturday than they would on a Friday because you don't have to take off work now.
Yeah.
So, and especially with normal mode going live the minute that World's First is done, I think there's going to be a lot more people raiding on Saturday.
Yeah, plus, like...
And now you have people, like, PC players are also now at an advantage because if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, good luck with getting through that without getting booted to orbit or getting crashed to dashboard.
Yeah, and the part two is, like, like you said, they left it untouched for 2 days. Like, they knew.
They didn't even acknowledge it. They didn't even acknowledge it.
You should have just left it. Like, if you're going to wait 2 days, you should have just, what's 2 more days, right?
It's one thing to come out and say, hey, we have to nerf this scout rifle that's in the past because it has an unintended interaction with anti-barrier. That's one thing. And they know that people are going to go clear content. That's part of the reason we were flying through Encore also, was just using that. We didn't even bother using heavy. We just used the scout rifle.
Mm-hmm.
We melted the boss with scout rifles, a tether, and 2 thunder crashes. The boss was dead in 5 seconds in Encore. Not even kidding.
Yeah.
So that is a problem. That does need to be fixed. And if you had just said, oh, well, it was easier than we intended and stuff like that, fine. But don't wait 2 days to tell us this. Just be like, the minute that you saw people saying this, you should have been like, hey, we're gonna give you all until next daily reset, and then we're gonna shut this off. Like, they honestly should have made the announcement. I had people grinding it out Tuesday night.
Yeah,
I knew people Tuesday into Wednesday who were grinding this. So I think the announcement should have just been made Tuesday night once they saw that people were grinding this and realized this was the quickest way to level up after the legendary campaign, and said, hey, we're giving you like another 12 hours, and then we're gonna nuke this at daily reset. That would have created a much more even playing field. It would not be nearly as big of a disparity as it is now. But now instead, you've got people pushing 300, even 350, and everybody else is just kind of here. Now, those are the same people who are going to complain that there's nothing to do in the game, that the grind sucks, there's no grind, there's nothing to do, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because you grinded there in 4 days, just no-lifing 300 runs of Encore, and that's not a joke. It's legitimately what people are doing with their sub 12-minute runs.
Yeah.
And I think it's hilarious that you couldn't have paid me to go do that mission last year, and now it's like, that's kind of all I wanted to go do today. But I also really wanted to get this Mythic campaign done to get me to 200 as quickly as possible. I know I could have just done that by grinding out some more Encore, but man, I got the last Matter Spark upgrade. I got something done that is going to be drastically harder after Tuesday once that scout rifle is nerfed. And yeah, it's a good time. Like, I don't hate Portal, though. I really like Solo Ops. Solo Ops is where I think it shines.
Yeah.
I don't really love Fire Team Ops, mainly because I'm already tired of doing Empire Hunts again. I've already done like 7 Empire Hunts in 2 days.
You don't like Empire Hunts, Josh?
No, I didn't like them in 2020, and I don't like them now. We've just come so far in terms of encounter design that I just cannot fathom going back to Empire Hunts now. It's such a joke. That and Savathûn Spire being in here is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Even Kelsfall was a joke. Kelsfall's a joke. That's another one they had to disable because you could fly through it in 10 minutes. And yet you didn't get as good of loot as Encore, but, because Encore is a longer mission, so they give you more as a reward, but they had to disable that too.
Question.
Yeah.
They didn't catch any of this in like playtests or anything? Like people weren't flying through this in playtests or anything?
I highly doubt it. They don't really have a QA team anymore. They've outsourced it to people who probably don't play the game that way. Speedrunners have always broken shit. People who are going to compete for day one will always find a way. They will always find a way to get around stuff.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, like that, and that was part of Milo's point. Like, this is always going to happen. And Bungie has to accept this is going to happen, but either you got to let it go for everyone, or you got to be Johnny on the spot getting it out of there as soon as you see it. I think Bungie also has to walk a really fine line of, well, they just nerf everything fun, or, oh, they let this get out of control. And here it's a bit of column A, column B.
Yeah.
I think Bungie let people do it, but then when they saw people getting to like 350, they were like, okay, we got to pull the plug now. This is all people are playing is these one or two missions. Like player stats are going to see that. So outside of that, though, I actually really like Portal. I like the approach they're doing with the Pinnacle Ops. I really like the approach they're taking with that. There's going to be 6 of them for the season, and they're at incremental levels for the Conqueror Seal now.
Yeah.
It includes things like Whisper. There's a couple battlegrounds in there. There's a few strikes. I love the addition of data pads in these missions that kind of expand upon Maya, and I assume are going to tie into the seasonal story. I think the seasonal story is Vex focused. Don't quote me on that. I've just seen the seal picture on the Bungie rewards site.
Mm-hmm.
It really sounds like Maya's fucking with the Taken too. So that adds a whole new dimension to this.
Yeah.
I'm very excited though, but I like those little additions because now it makes those things that I've played a million times like, oh, now I'm looking for collectibles in here because those are weekly challenges that we have as well.
Yeah.
So I like that. That gives me something else to look for in these missions. That's fun. It does make me think that, oh, the Empire Hunts won't be here every week. They're going to rotate out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We already know that Starcross was going to come back next week. They went ahead and put it in this week as the replacement for Encore.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got Starcrossed.
Because you cannot fly through Starcrossed. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
As far as I know, you cannot speedrun Starcrossed. You have to actually do the encounters. So, but that's okay. That's okay. I also kind of wonder if Xbox and PlayStation weren't borked if they would have let it go a little bit longer. I think that's the other thing you have to consider is that's problem. But, them not giving us any reasoning is why we're sitting here with the conjecture.
Yeah.
We're coming up with our own reasoning. So, last thing I want to hit on for the expansion before we get to a little bit of Schwab and we get to a couple questions we have. Gear. Corey, gear.
There's some cool things in here.
So
I'm liking.
You approached this differently than I did. I was playing on Legendary. I kept most of my old gear that was masterwork. I just slapped mods on because I stripped all my mod sockets the night before.
Uh-huh.
I put all new mods on them, adjusted my health values and stuff. I got health and super both over 100, and I had 2 others in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I got a new cloak, though, that was decent stat distribution, I slapped that bad boy on.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that is a noticeable jump right there when you do that.
Yeah.
I've used some of the new gear. Like, obviously, once I finished the campaign, I started fucking with it more. And as I started getting tier 2 and above drops, the rare tier 3. But the only way I've seen to reliably grind the only way that you can really do it now is if you were fortunate enough to get your level up high enough, or you can go grind out on Mythic, which you need to be you can unlock it at 170, 180-ish. I would say you probably pretty reliably need to be in the 200s because I was getting one-shotted by things you do not get. I don't think you get fire team power in Patrol. Because I was getting my ass beat. And my teammates were not as badly getting their asses beat.
Yeah.
But you've been playing with new weapons and new armor. I'm going to let you take the microphone. What have you been enjoying in terms of the weapons? I've got some stuff to say on armor. I've gotten pinnacle drops, and there's actually a pinnacle tab for armor now, which I really like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. It's Pinnacle. It's not Endgame. It's Pinnacle,
Yeah.
and it is stuff you can only get out of the Pinnacle ops in the Pathfinder. That set bonus for the Bushido armor is awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm already really, really enjoying it. I'm gonna let you talk while I get my stuff pulled up.
Yeah, so obviously I am infamous for never changing gear, Josh.
Yes.
So what I did before I started, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna actually force myself to use all new stuff during the campaign. The only thing I took with me that was old after that first mission was Outbreak Perfected. Good old trusty Outbreak Perfected, Josh. After the first mission, I put it away. So let me tell you what I do like. I really like third iteration, which is the scout rifle, the exotic scout rifle.
It's so stupid good.
Dude, it's so powerful. And then what, like, instead of like, you know, has that cooldown to reload fully. If you don't let it reload fully, it pretty much turns into a hip fire, you know, pump action shotgun essentially. It's so fun to use. I really love that weapon. It's super powerful. It's super fun. I love the way it shoots. It kind of like the way it feels, honestly, feels like Hung Jury from Destiny 1 a little bit. Like just the way it, like the consistency of the shots, and
it hits like
feedback.
A Mack truck, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really like that. Precipial, which is the shotgun. I like that. I wish I had a bigger magazine, but I do really like the way it hits. I got one with proximity power and Vorpal. So I really like that. I've gotten a lot of that weapon. Sublimation, which is the other scout rifle, I really like. It doesn't hit quite as hard as third iteration, but it's I like it enough to where I can kind of, especially playing by myself, I can play at a distance and it feels pretty good to shoot. I got the hand cannon. I don't remember what it's called. A gape, I think is what it's called. It's okay. I'm not a hand cannon guy, but it's pretty powerful. It hits hard. So I don't really like the Last Thursday pulse rifle, but I do like Stars and Shadow, which is the energy pulse.
Yeah, Stars and Shadow, for those who don't remember, is a Crucible weapon from several years ago. It is reprised. That is one of the things you can get out of Portal. I have learned that there are, when it says Rev.1 at the end, that is a reprised weapon now. And I really like that. I have personally not gotten the Stars and Shadow, and I love that gun.
Yeah, I got one pretty early, actually.
I did not really touch Portal outside of Encore, and anything I did get was just being infused into the gear I was using. So
yeah, so I'm really enjoying that weapon. Although the rolls on it aren't exactly rolls I would use, but you know, I'll chase rolls later.
Yeah, that's something that's not going away. So
yeah, I got a stasis sword called Aurora Dawn.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It looks like a knife.
Yeah, it's got a crazy design. It kind of it almost looks like somebody broke the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII and stuck it on a on a, you know, and then Ulterior Observation is the heavy machine gun. I like that quite a bit, actually. It hits pretty hard too. So there's also there's a Suro submachine gun. I must put it in my vault. That's pretty good too. It's like it doesn't hit as hard, but it shoots faster, so it kind of has the effect of a assault rifle, but hits harder.
Yeah.
Plus I'm using all these you know, like the assault rifles and the machine guns with what's it called, Axiom War Rig. So you know, because my trusty helmet Saint 14 needed to be put away Josh.
It needed to be put away many moons ago, my friend.
I know.
I hate to be the one to tell you this.
I know, Josh. I know. Also, I put my Dune marches away because they haven't been good ever. So,
but I would disagree on that. But
well, I mean, they haven't been useful the way that I play.
Not for your style of play. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. But yeah, and then like all the armor, like I think the armor looks okay.
Yeah, I'm not in love with any of the armor looks yet, but I am in love with set bonuses.
Yeah, I think the tech sec armor for the Titan looks okay. There's also this weird like almost motorcycle helmet type thing. Last Discipline is the armor set. I think that's the Vanguard set.
It is the Crucible set, I believe.
Is it? Okay.
I think so. TechSec is Vanguard.
Okay.
Maybe the other one comes from Vanguard too. I don't know. But I definitely used my tokens on Vanguard armor from that set earlier.
Yeah, so that's kind of the armor that I'm working with here. I did take out some of the exotics, thinking I might try to use them at one point or another just to try to play differently, because it's been so long since I've tried to play differently that it's probably time. But that's what I've been playing around with, Josh.
All right. I want to get into a few of the weapons I've been using. More in-depth weapons coming probably next week. I really want to get through this raid first. And then I will really sit down and start refining my loadouts. But I have pretty much moved on from anything that's non-exotic from before. I don't even have a single weapon in my inventory for my primary slot outside of Outbreak and Gavastov from the previous expansion. I put my blast furnace up like 3 missions into the campaign, honestly. As much as I love kinetic tremors, and I think it would have helped, I put it up in favor of like forcing myself to use new primaries, which I'm okay with. I actually really have liked last Thursday, depending on like when I have a good roll, I was just kind of like switching back and forth. But the one I found that I really enjoy is Dragonfly and Subsistence. I have really enjoyed that. I have a tier 2 on it. I've been using Giver's Blessing, the auto rifle, quite a bit as well. I've shoot to loot and multi-kill clip on one, and then on another one I have Kinetic Tremors. Kinetic Tremors hits a little bit less hard on a 720 auto rifle for sure, but sometimes it's enough to like stagger an opponent. So I do like that a bit. I think with enhanced perks, it would be a bit better. If I get that in like a tier 3 or 4, I'd be more willing to play around with it. The pulse I'm really liking. I'm really liking Mint Retrograde. It's a 200 RPM pulse, so it's the 2 burst. I am liking that. I just don't have a roll I love on it yet. I have Recycled Energy 1 for all right now. I will enjoy that when I get better rolls, though, and I need to go play playlist activities to get that, obviously. Jurisprudent is another scout. I need to play with this one. Don't really have a roll I love on it yet. My secondary slot is where I was really hesitant to move on from Aberrant Action. To be fair, I pretty much used Aberrant Action up until I started using the Exotic Scout last night. Yesterday afternoon and last night is when I started using that a lot. That's when I finally put my Aberrant Action down. It's not gone forever. It's just it's taking a little vacation. Not in my secondary slot. The weapon has like 15,000 kills on it. It's time to rest. Oh, excuse me. We're almost up to 16,000 now. It needs to rest a little bit, but in that slot specifically, outside of the third iteration, I have been running the hand cannon a bit. I do quite like Graviton Spike. And of course, I only have the base on it. I haven't gone and crafted anything on it. I am really liking it, though. I need to play with the Agape hand cannon a bit. Pretty much everyone I've talked to has enjoyed it. That is a heavy burst one as well. You can get that with some really spicy perks. I believe you can get Incandescent and the new solar perk on it that causes Scorch ignitions on nearby enemies. And you can get that on it as well. I have it with Snapshot, Rewind, Vorpal, and Fragile Focus. So I need to play around with that one a little bit. I got that one this afternoon as a tier 3. Sublimination is one I'm enjoying. I got a moving target volt shot on mine, and I can also throw eddy current on there.
I got explosive payload on the one that I use.
Ooh, that's spicy, I think.
Yeah.
Is it first or second column?
Second.
Okay. Like, man, I really love when you can roll 2 explosive perks together.
Yeah, Demolitionist is my first perk on that, but
I mean, that's still not bad.
Yeah.
Percipral is the one I'm currently rocking. It is one of my first pieces of above 200 gear. It is my first tier 4 drop, so I'm really excited to play with it. Got this bad boy with proximity power, which is a new trait. When targets are nearby, final blows grant an improved amount of bonus melee, and I got opening shot Vorpal in that second column, as well as reconstruction in the first. So excited to play with that one. That is definitely kind of being put aside for when I play Punchy Hunter. And in terms of heavies I really haven't experimented with too heavily yet because I haven't found any that really are fitting my vibe. Outside of our old friend Outrageous Fortune is back. This is one that we have not seen in a very long time. But I do have a couple of Outrageous Fortunes I wanted to play with. Specifically, really excited for getting this with the new solar perk. You can get incandescent and the new solar perk on this. I think that'll be a lot of fun. You can get chain reaction on it. That's the role I currently have as field prep, chain reaction. And one other weapon that I'm liking in theory, but I need to play with a bit more, is Thetolite, which I can only describe as Arc Mountaintop. And I got this thing with an absolutely disgusting roll. So I got the sticky nades on it, which, hey, we love that on a micro missile frame. But I also would like spike nades. I don't know if they roll on this. But I got Reconstruction and Reaper's Tithe. Reaper's Tithe, another new perk that I'm really, really, really liking. But I need to go to the firing range and do some testing with it because multiple simultaneous final blows queue up a stacking damage buff. Timer starts on the next weapon fire. Final blows extend this timer. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
For something that is Arc Mountaintop, that could be a lot of fun. I kind of want to just go play with it and see how that goes. Because that's just gets so nutty, especially if you get the bonus round.
Yeah.
That gets just crazy, and crazy amounts of loot, too. But I'll do that after we do the armor. I want to talk about armor really, really quickly. I pulled up a couple stats that I've been using. Armor is something I really struggled until I hit about 200-ish. Unless I got just an otherworldly stat roll, I was just infusing, because why would I want to save a tier 1 or 2 piece of armor? I want to use tier 3 and above, essentially.
Right.
So I currently have my armor is not it's a tier 1, but the stat distribution was good, so I'm using it for right now. And that is the Bushido helm that I'm using there. Bushido, for the set bonus, 2 pieces. Final blows with freshly drawn or reloaded weapons heal you. And at 4 pieces, bow, shotgun, or sword final blows temporarily reduce incoming damage. Damaging targets with those weapons extends the effect. I like that, especially if you're a big bow user. That's huge, because every time that you kill something, you're healing. That could be huge for endgame content.
Yeah.
Especially if you like running something like Trinity Ghoul, or you run, you like running Wish Ender, you like running Tyranny of Heaven, you like running anything like that. This is going to be an awesome set of armor, and it fits the theme of the armor too, because it's samurai armor. Yeah. They gave us Ghost of Tsushima armor, Corey. My cloak is a man bun with swords, and I love it. I genuinely love it. This looks awesome. I love this set. So I think the Bushido set is really, really cool. I think it's cool on all 3 classes, honestly. I really love the Warlock robes for this. It looks like it's straight out of the Tsushima armor. And then the other one I'm running a piece of the Aeon armor, because I got a good stat distribution on this. I don't really love this armor set bonus. This one I feel like I just would probably never use. After a final blow with any rocket or grenade launcher, sprint for a short time to gain speed booster. I think if you use a lot of Mountaintop or like Wither Horde, maybe, or Lost Signal, our beloved Wither Horde at home weapon, I think this could be a lot of fun there. But this feels more like a niche piece of armor for when we get a grenade launcher or rocket focused season is when I would be running this. I probably won't keep too much of this around. This is the Kepler armor too. You can just go get it at any time.
Yeah.
But this dropped as a tier 3 piece of armor, so for right now, I'm using it. Bushido is what I'm going in on currently for armor that I have. I haven't fallen in love with any other set bonuses. I think the air set bonuses are just kind of mid at this point in time. But we'll see. Like, the tech sec didn't really light my world on fire when I saw it. Which is record deal significantly. Oh, I guess I actually did kind of like this for my style. When I run with kinetic tremors, I take that back. I did like this because deal significantly increased kinetic damage to combatant shields, overshields, vehicles, and constructs. And then at 4 pieces, defeating powerful combatants or breaking a combatant shield with kinetic damage releases a disorienting kinetic shockwave. I think that could be fun. I liked running a lot of microcosm. That's still usually my exotic of choice that I have on. Especially in like non-endgame content where I don't have to run the meta thing. I just like running that. I ran it throughout the entirety of the legendary campaign with no problem. So I do still really like that, but the only one that's really tickling me is the Bushido armor, and I expect we're about to get so many more sets. We're going to get seasonal armor. We're going to get raid armor. We're going to get solstice armor. Like, there are more sets coming, obviously, in the immediate future, let alone once Ashen Iron comes out. So any final thoughts on gear right now? We're going to talk more about weapons next week. We've had a little bit more time to process and play with them, get some more gear tiers under us.
Yeah, it feels it feels good to try new weapons again.
It does.
Like, I'm not usually the guy that does that because I like to be, just kind of used to what I'm playing with. But
sure,
it's definitely fun. It feels, everything about this whole expansion just feels, I don't want to say fresh because it's not fresh, but it feels,
it's a reintroduction.
Yeah, and it's nice to, especially where I'm at in my life, right, with married and kids, and having this smaller kind of expansion and feeling like I can accomplish everything I want to without compromising anything, and like trying out all the new stuff. It like really feels good. I don't know. It's kind of renewed my excitement in Destiny in a way. Plus there's so much mystery, and like I'm looking forward to what weapons and stuff are coming, and renegades could definitely be really interesting if they try to introduce Star Wars stuff in there. Like,
yeah, I mean, we already know Han Solo's pistol and lightsabers are coming, so it's already a little too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want like I don't need like a stormtrooper blaster or anything, or like the Trader wand from episode 7, right?
Yeah, I already don't love that the DL-44 is going to be in there. That's a sacred fictional weapon for me. The way that people revere lightsabers, I revere Han Solo's pistol, and that's not a joke.
Yeah.
So, I'm definitely intrigued for where you can go with Renegades now, because they've opened up so many possibilities. And there's so much you can do here, and like just they've made it pretty clear this is going to be a self-contained little expansion, but it's still going to be a distinctly Destiny story. We're hunting Dredgens. I think Shin Malphur is going to show up. We already have pretty much a new Warlock in Lodi and a new Titan in Orin, so is it time for us to get another hunter on the scene? I mean, technically Crow, but it's time for us to get another hunter on the scene for this saga. Me thinks yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would say yes, maybe, with the caveat that Crow is kind of the new hunter, still.
Yeah, I would just say I hesitate because we've already been on the hero's journey with Crow.
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool to introduce somebody that's like only been talked about in the lore, or a brand new character, which are still so early in the saga that there's plenty of time.
I mean, like, Micah 10 is a hunter, right?
Yeah, I think Micah will probably be a part of this, but I don't know to what extent. Like, they kind of felt like not a cameo, but they felt like they were there to help us tie up Cade.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the relationship that Cade and Micah both knew about their pasts. Like, knowing that they knew each other in a past life, I think that kind of closes that off for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it's cosmically hilarious that we go to this uncharted frontier out in deep space and we didn't bring the Hunter Vanguard with us. That's hilarious to me. That's absolutely hysterical.
Yeah. I wonder...
but at the same time, like, so much of the seasonal content from Beyond Light forward really did focus on Crow.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm okay with not having Crow here. Him, Saladin, Osiris, Saint, they have all earned Zavala, they've all earned an extended vacation for right now.
Yeah.
I'm not adding Drifter in there just yet, because this is really the first expansion we've ever had Drifter in. To be honest,
he's usually been relegated to seasons.
He had a cameo in Beyond Light. He was not really part of the. He was really not part of the crew in Beyond Light.
That was LC, right? I mean,
the fucking marketing led us so astray with that, thinking him and Eris were going to be a big part of it. Nope. Yeah, Eris has also earned a break. I don't want to see her. I don't want to see Three Eyes between now and like next fall.
Yeah, when she took the mask off, that was enough Eris for me. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I really like Eris, but I think we've done about all we can do with Eris's character at this point. So let her stories live vicariously through Drifter and like maybe Sloan or somebody else. It's time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get to one other thing before we get to questions. I want to talk about Sieve really quickly. This should be where we're grinding out loot, and I think that is Bungie's intention. The fact that this is only up every few hours is mind-blowing to me. And when it comes up, it's only up for an hour and then it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we left this behind with Blind Well and Escalation Protocol and shit like that. I thought we left this behind. That feels bad. The activity is fun. Outside of one, there is one variation of it that is a gigantic pain in the ass, and you have to use Matter Spark for like everything on it.
Mm-hmm.
That is just not fun.
Mm-hmm.
I believe A1 Johnny said the exact words, "I'm already over this activity," when we had to do that, because that was the second time in that day that he had gotten stuck in that one. I can't agree more. I really enjoy the other variations of it. That particular variation is just a nightmare. It takes so long, and it's just not fun.
Yeah.
It simply is not fun for anybody. I think with Tier 4, with Tier 4 Matter Spark, it's a little bit more bearable, or I imagine it is. I haven't gone and played it yet because it wasn't up. But I think that'll be a way to farm it, especially if you get the bonus round is just wacky fun. It is high speed gambit, dunk 40 motes, and you get it, but you only have 2 minutes to do it, I think. And you're not guaranteed to finish it. We finished it the first time. We did not finish it the second time. Yeah, there was just, things were hitting hard. So I'm hoping going in there at a higher power that I'll have a little bit of an easier time surviving, but I feel like that'll be a good loot grind. You get a chest after every round, and then if you get the bonus round, you get like 3 chests and a gigantic one that pops out a ton of loot. Like, the bonus round is really what you want.
Yeah.
So I do like that. I like the Sieve as an activity, but it's another arena style mode. One of the other things I saw was, if you were going to give us an activity you people were going to exploit for loot, why not give us something on Kepler instead of an activity that we had last year that we all were already sick of, and now we have to go grind it like 100 more times.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the purpose of Portal is to be able to play the way I want when I want, right?
Right.
And I'll tell you right now, I don't think I'm going to do the grind to 450 every single release. I just don't think I have it in me, even if you're just resetting me to 200. I don't know if I have 250 levels in me. That is the cool thing, though. Like, you don't start getting your seasonal power until you hit 200. I think that's really cool, because now I can choose how much I want to level up, because I can pretty much do everything right there. Like, you only had to be level 100 to do the raid.
Yeah.
There are challenges, there are Grandmaster challenges and things like that you will only be able to do when you are as high up in the level as you can possibly go. And like, if you want the best loot, you got to do your Guardian ranks, you got to do harder Portal activities. I understand and empathize with all that. I get it. I like that. And Guardian ranks are not going to reset to 2 every single time. which is a relief because that's been also very annoying.
Mm.
But I think that's cool that I don't think it's cool, actually. I think it's just kind of silly that it's tied to Guardian ranks now. They're like, damn, we're going to force you guys to use this system. We're going to force you guys to use Guardian ranks.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But by and large, I'm kind of becoming a believer in Portal. I want to play with it a little bit more. I need the issues with console to get straightened out so I can play with it a little bit more and actually go and do my own runs and not get DC'd 3 times. And literally last night, 3 times in one strike, I got DC'd, including twice in the boss room.
Yeah.
And when you're doing it with friends, they can hold up and not kill the boss. When you're doing it with randos, you're screwed. You can't even join back.
Yeah, like solo ops, you're never going to get anybody to hold on to the boss, or hold on to anything.
You can't.
Yeah,
you can't. It's a solo op. Solo ops, I found I'm fine on. It's anything with matchmaking. So, or anything that could be match made, like in its coding. So, like the exotic missions and whatnot. So, it's frustrating. Normally it's PC that has a bug like this, and I think it really sucks going into raid weekend. Thankfully, I'm not planning to day one it. I will be happily watching it from my couch and leisurely doing side quests on Kepler while my friends Dealer and Oak are just screaming at their screens. I will be providing moral support from afar. I personally have just no interest in going in and doing a contest day one anymore. The strats I was hearing about, like, what armor sets, because the armor sets have thrown everybody into a tizzy this time, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, what set bonuses? And then like, oh, what's disabled? What's not? When you do the campaign on Mythic, you unlock a whole new set of armor that you can get on Kepler that just, at first you think it's just different colored, but it's got a new set bonus on it and stuff too, which I haven't even looked into because I don't have any of it yet. There's a lot going on here. And
yeah,
I think that's going to make for a really fun day one experience. It's just, man, this is the most frantic day one I feel like that we've had since, I don't know, maybe Last Wish.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be on the level of Last Wish in terms of difficulty. Most people I've talked to think it's going to fall between how easy Root of Nightmares was and how easy Crota's End was, the reprised Crota's.
Yeah.
That seems to be where people think it's going to fall. I'm really hoping that that's wrong. I wanted to be more towards Salvation's Edge. The Raid and Dungeon team, I mean, 3 straight releases in a row with SE, with Vespers, and with Subjugated, whatever it's called. Whatever the Hive dungeon is. I'm completely blanking on it because I'm so fucking tired. And I haven't... Sundered Doctrine, not Subjugator, God. Sundered Doctrine is what I'm thinking of. They've cooked 3 straight releases. So, and I'm really hoping they continue with that tradition. I did not love Warlords as much as everyone else. I still have it highly rated. But I don't think Warlords compares to like Ghosts, which came out before it, or to the 2 that came after it. I don't think it holds up the same, unfortunately. But, you know, mechanics wise, like they've been there for a while. I think it's going to depend on the loot and everything. So very excited. We're going to the Realm of the Nine. The indication from the emblem seems to be that we're going to the Realm of the Nine, but it looks like it's specifically dealing with like 3's realm, because the emblem is called, that everybody gets for finishing it, is called Third Unknown, and it's got the number 3 on it. And it's got, you know, some of the 9 pillars and the desert and things like that. They are not showing us the world's first raid emblem until it gets cleared because it's a spoiler. That's awesome to me. It's called Timeline's Blade.
That's cool.
We can't show you this one yet. You'll understand when you see it for the first time after the world's first race has been cleared.
That's kind of cool.
I'm very excited for that. I want to fly through a couple things here in the Chwab real quickly. I feel like we had a few things to talk about. Void. Where was it? There was something in here I wanted to get. Oh, so seasonal information. Obviously, how this is going to look going forward. Ash and Iron major update is going to drop on September 9th. December 2nd, Renegades will launch, and Season Lawless will begin as well. Shadow and Order will drop next March on March 3rd. At the start of Reclamation, we introduced solo ops. A brand new activity playlist that takes place on destinations throughout the Sol system, including Kepler, that will reward new gear and powerful rewards. Portal will have its own new gear to be earned right as you jump into the expansion. Crucible Ops, Fireteam Ops will offer new armor sets and gear with a sizable amount of returning activities, customizable difficulty, and modifiers. I love that mini screebs and unlimited grapples have already been two of the things, and grapples had to be disabled already.
Shocking.
So funny. Dude, we were grappling through entire Empire hunts. It was fantastic. But they gave us a schedule release of everything up through Ash and Iron, which I think is really cool. We have Reclamation and future seasons will feature a calendar of content releases with additional activities opening in the portal, as well as new and returning events. Events will have exclusive gear and rewards, including hollow foil weapons. The next 3 events and dates, plus what will be coming to the portal in the coming weeks. So next week, July 22nd, Onslaught Midtown and Widow's Court will arrive in Fireteam Ops, much to Josh's ever-loving chagrin. God, I really hoped I was going to get through a season without seeing the words Battleground or Onslaught, and I have already had my hopes dashed in like the first 24 hours.
Sorry, Josh.
Star-Crossed Exotic Mission arrives in Pinnacle Ops. That's already been put in Pinnacle Ops. They had to move that up to this week. July 29th, this is where I'm locking in. Arms Week event is launching with a focus on hand cannons. Trials of Osiris is back with new armored sets and tiered weapons to earn. Very excited about that. The Coil will come to Fireteam Ops featuring 3 different paths to play. August 5th through the 19th, Solstice will take place, and matchmaking will open for Grandmaster Fireteam Ops. Expert and master matchmaking options open on the 22nd and 29th, respectively. I assume that means July 22nd and 29th and not August, but who knows? I could be wrong. September 2nd, Heavy Metal will return, and on September 9th, Ash and Iron is returning. Throughout the season, there will be booster weeks where a gameplay or progression buff will be active in Portal. The first booster, Special Surge, starts next week and buffs special ammo drops in all PvE activities in Portal. I think things like that really are going to help it make it keep feeling fresh. Like for me, you could wait and see some of those and be like, that's when we get a week like that. That's when I want to go tackle my Pinnacle Ops this week for the season. I want to go do my Grandmasters or something. Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to get more drops, or, oh, there's some special buff enabled, like, oh, maybe supers come back 25% faster, In Ash and Iron, Guardians will return to the Plaguelands and participate in a new activity highlighted event called New Territory. Event sets up a brand new activity called Reclaim, which is a 3-player mission where resources are limited and playing as a team is a requirement for success. Portal will expand with additional activities, customization options, weapons, and armor, and the new ultimate difficulty level accessible across all solo, Fireteam, and Pinnacle Ops. We have not talked much about the Edge of Fate raid dropping on July 19th, Desert Perpetual, for those of you keeping track, DP for those of you keeping track at home. And there's totally intentional, as we want you to discover everything about it yourself. No, we will share our plans for the Epic raid, which will add new content and rewards after Ash and Iron launches when the time is right. So I'm pretty stoked. I think that Portal sounds like they're really trying to make this work. I saw some people lamenting the death of Pathfinder, and I gotta tell you, I've never been happier to see something go out of this game. Yeah. I did not like Pathfinder. I forgot to use Pathfinder a lot of the time. I didn't feel like it really enhanced my experience. Just let me get the fucking bounties, man. Let me skip the things I don't want to do.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about Pathfinder a lot of the time.
I tried to.
I mean, I remember.
But it was a quick way to get some free Bright Dust and some Pinnacles and some materials every week and this and that.
We all know how Josh likes Bright Dust.
I don't need any more Bright Dust. I have so much Bright Dust as it is. So there is a bit in here about the Bungie Day campaign update. $750,000 raised in support of the Bungie Day campaign. With the launch of the Edge of Fate, we added additional incentives to further our impact. You can get the Helping Hand emote and the Steadfast Column shader. And Eververse has a brand new Foundation-inspired weapon ornament for Sunshot. That is a slick-looking ornament, too. I really like it.
It's a cool ornament.
I will probably get it because I am a sucker for stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not even a Sunshot person, but
I love Sunshot. Onslaught made me a believer in Sunshot.
I mean, if I'm going to use one, it's going to be that. But like, I'm not a hand cannon person anyway.
Sure.
Timeline
of future updates. I want to go ahead and read some of these off for you guys. There are a few fixes that they're trying to get out before the world's first raid starts, including the crashes on Xbox. They've specifically called that one out. But I don't know. That's not listed here. It was listed in a tweet last night, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Update on Tuesday, July 22nd. Targeting fixes for incorrect ammo gains on area denial grenade launchers, rocket sidearms, and rocket launchers with bipod. Additional Kepler-related soft locks and crashes, and the third iteration scout rifle is getting the fuck nerfed out of it. Tuesday, July 29th. Matterspark motion sickness and visual improvements. Holofoil visuals unintentionally changing. Tangled web perk not suspending champions. And then, still investigating, leaving Edge of Fate missions early prevents players from relaunching them. Audio issues on PS5 and PS4 consoles crashing when entering the tower. Oof. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. There is ammo economy feedback. You guys can look at that. It basically just explains how ammo finders are working these days. I personally didn't. I was using a rocket sidearm a lot. I really didn't notice too bad of an ammo shortage. Maybe in like one mission I did. I imagine it's way worse in free roam, but I don't actually know. Known issues. There are a couple of these. Vex Mythoclast is not firing the way it's supposed to. It's firing a lot slower, I believe. Graviton Spike is missing its lore tab.
Oh.
Armor set perks for the unfaltering focus and redacted sets have been temporarily disabled to prevent game crashes. PS5 and Xbox users are experiencing intermittent audio issues, which may eventually lead to crashes. And there's a few others. So, yeah. I think that's going to do it for us. But as is tradition, we have a couple of questions, and then we're going to rank the campaigns real quick. I know this has already been our longest episode in a hot minute. But we have a couple questions tonight from one Jiggly Panda who wrote into us.
Jiggly Panda.
Let me find their questions. We already talked about Portal. What would you guys change about when it comes to the Portal besides getting rid of it? I kind of want to stash that one until we play around Portal a little bit more. But right now, I'd like to be able just to use it.
Yeah.
Does this DLC get y'all excited for Renegades? I think we already talked about that. Like, yeah. It makes me cautiously optimistic for it. I still don't love that it's a crossover. The fact that it's so Star Wars inspired is fine with me. I just don't like that they forced 6 Star Wars sets down our throats, including 3 with the Year of Prophecy, and the fact that we're getting seemingly 2 exotics that are themed to Star Wars weapons, both lightsabers and Han Solo's pistol. I don't love that. That's actually really annoying to me. But, we'll see how it gets implemented. I'm willing to be proven wrong. Edge of Fate fucking rocked. So if you give me Dredgens and you're letting me build credits and notoriety, let's go for it.
Yeah.
But their other question is, if you could sit down and have a drink with 3 characters from Destiny, who are you choosing and what are you drinking? I feel like we got this one way back in the day, but that was like 200 episodes ago, so we're doing it again. So I feel like our answers have changed since the Beyond Light days.
Yeah, probably. Quite a bit, actually, I'm sure.
I'll go ahead and hit this one so you can think about your answer for a second. I would say I love Cade. Cade's got to be there. Cade absolutely has to.
I mean, I feel like that's just like a de facto.
Yeah, I think it's really what 2 characters do you want, because Cade's hosting the soiree.
Yeah.
I would say Drifter. Drifter's got to be there for me.
Yeah, he seems like he knows his way around a good time.
I think Drifter has to be there. And for me personally, my last one comes down to either Zavala. I think Lodi is a good choice right now. Just recency bias. I really love Lodi as a character. I'd love to talk to him about JFK, honestly. Like, what the fuck went on with all that?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say
Why are you packing
I'm
Graviton Lance?
gonna keep it in the Hunter family though, and I'm gonna bring in Crow. I just really want to go camping with Caden Crow. Let's be honest. That's all I really want. And I feel like Drifter would like, I don't know, like make some good meat or something. I don't know. I feel like he'd go catch a hog and we'd cook it.
Jeez.
I feel like we could have a really good time. Like have a real dudes trip. But realistically, I don't know. I think I have to go with the other Sov though. I think Mara's got to be there. No, you perverts. That's not why. But yeah, I think Mara might have to be there to be like the adult in the room.
Adult in the room.
Yeah, listen, if I'm taking Drift, I can't take Eris because I've got Drifter there, and that's just going to lead to me and Cade awkwardly sitting by the fire.
Yeah.
So I feel like Mara has to come, even though everybody's going to make passes at him. I feel like Mara's got to come. I would bring Anna, but Anna just wants to cry about Rasputin, and even though it's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can't take her. Elsie just kind of feels a little bit wooden. Can't bring Elsie. She's gonna talk about the dark future, even though we've averted that multiple times now. We're in something way worse. They're saying there's a cataclysm coming. This is not good. They're calling us a weapon.
Extinction.
Don't love that.
Extinction. I don't like that term.
Would you go camping with Tannix?
Oh God. I mean, I guess because we know if he got lost or died, he would always come back.
True. It's true.
So I guess so. Yeah.
Who would be your 3 characters, Corey?
I mean, Kate is definitely there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick a weird one here, Josh, but stick with me.
Pick a weird one for me, buddy.
I'm gonna say Lord Saladin, because under that gruff, tough, super serious exterior, I bet if you put a drink or two in him, he's gonna loosen up and dance like a ballerina.
He could.
I'm just saying he could do something. And then I mean, I don't want to take the same ones you did. Man, I bet you said Elsie. You would not.
I would not.
What if I want to know about the dark future? What if I want to know if I was some sort of crazy?
It's not a story the Vanguard would tell you.
I mean, that's true. Jeez. Yeah, I want to know about the dark future. I want to know if does Tower Casuals exist in the dark future? What does that show look like?
True.
What does our dark future podcast look like? That's our new spin-off show.
We became Warframe players.
Oh no.
we became Warframe and Concord mains.
Oh God, Concord would still exist. That's the dark future.
Is that the trade-off? Marathon never has an art theft.
Oh God. That's
Marathon doesn't exist in this universe. We got these changes back with the Witch Queen like I wanted.
Jeez. God, the dark future. God. No, we just our podcast is just about Disney Dreamlight Valley. That's it.
God, that is dark future. Jesus Christ.
Oh man. Good times.
I became a gacha game reviewer.
Oh no. Hey, there is a Persona one though. I mean, I
know there is. It actually like rocks dick. I'm not even gonna lie. That thing's awesome.
That's what
it's
I'm
great.
hearing.
It's an actual Persona game too. I busted out the backbone for it, Corey.
I'm sure you did, Josh.
It's on Steam. I can't wait for it to come to console. I'm gonna play the shit out of it on console. I can't wait.
That's gonna be dangerous, man.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna lose so much time to it. I did not get nearly as into it as I thought I was going to, mainly because I've been so busy the last 3 weeks since it came out. But yeah. Well, all right, Corey. It's come to that time. We got to rank the campaigns.
All right.
And yes, we are including the 4 mini expansions, like always.
4 mini expansions.
Yes, the Dark Below.
Oh, those, yeah.
Curse of Osiris and Warmind are all being ranked as well.
Oh, yeah, I would Yeah, I assumed we were. I was like, mini campaigns. Well, did I miss
Yes.
something? That's the
Nope.
dark future. I missed something. Actually, that's just this timeline.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, Josh. How do you want to do this? One by one, worst to best.
Yeah, worst to best as always.
Oh man. Man, worst. I think the worst is Curse of Osiris.
It's Curse of Osiris. Like we're not even going to get into the reasoning on these. Listen to old episodes if you want to know why. It's everything we've ever talked about.
Yeah.
Curse of Osiris. I'm going Curse of Osiris. I'm going Dark Below. I'm going House of Wolves. I'm going those three as my bottom. I have a soft spot for House of Wolves, but I can't reasonably put it above anything else.
Yeah. Man. So let's see. I would have to go. Let's see. Last would be Curse of Osiris. Second to last would probably be Dark Below seems like that. And then man, I can't tell you how much I really disliked Lightfall.
Oh god, you have Lightfall that low? Jesus Christ.
Man, I don't know if it deserves to be there, but like man, it was all the Destiny 1 campaigns, in my opinion, are better than that besides Dark Below.
Yeah.
Man, I would.
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't. It's going to go there.
Next up, I'm going to go Vanilla D1.
Ooh.
I'm going to go Vanilla D1. I have
but Josh, that's the best. We need to go back to D1.
Jesus Christ, I would quit. I really would become a Warframe main.
Man,
I'm putting D1 down there. Vault of Glass does not save this for me.
Jeez.
I mean, Vault of Glass is really good, but it doesn't carry it from. If Crota couldn't save Dark Below, then this isn't getting saved either. So I've got D1 down there.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so after Lightfall, I'm gonna put Warmind.
Okay.
It was very it wasn't amazingly terrible, but it was really short and not. I don't know, man. Mm-hmm. It had that cool shotgun everybody used for 2 months though. What was that called? When you grinded Escalation Protocol?
Ikelos?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ikelos Shoddy was awesome. One of the best tier 1 weapons.
Yeah.
And then it got a reprisal and was just as good again. I've got next up on my list, I've got Shadowkeep. Shadowkeep for the same reasons D1. Shadowkeep's terrible. It's terrible. Its redeeming factor is we saw a pyramid and we got Xenophage. Whoop-de fucking do.
Yeah.
It's also bad. It's bad. It's not good. Garden of Salvation is a slog. I have warmed on Garden in recent years, and especially the Divinity Quest, but again, one raid does not save. One good raid does not save your expansion for me. And I don't like the moon. I did not like the moon in Destiny 1. I do not like the moon now.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go. Let's see, Curse of Osiris, Dark Below, Lightfall, I'm writing these down as I go. Warmind, D1, and then Shadowkeep.
Yeah,
in that order. Not the revamped D1 campaign that came with the Taken King, but original D1.
Yeah,
if you were there,
real ones know. I'm gonna go Lightfall next. Lightfall's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's
we're still in the pretty bad territory. Lightfall's next for me for everything Corey said. So back to you.
Let's see. Man, that was quick. So
I've ranted about Lightfall for 3 years. I have no interest in talking about it more.
Yeah, no, that's
I got re-upset about it this week, so
yeah. I'm just hold on, let me see here. I think man, so I guess D2 Vanilla goes next. I think I'm a little higher on Red War than most people are, but compared to everything that, well, most of the things that came after, it was it kind of sits as mid at this point.
Yeah,
for me.
I'm gonna go Beyond Light next. I do not like Beyond Light. I have been playing through it on my Warlock. That is a horrible campaign. It's so bad. Like, it was good at the time because we'd only had like one or two really good campaigns. So we were like, well, even getting like something mid is better than nothing. Stasis was really cool, but like that campaign is just, it's bad. It's bad. Aramis is a bad character at that point in the story. I still don't think Aramis is terribly interesting in any timeline, but even it was especially bad. We just froze her. Oh boy. Yeah. The coolest thing was going inside the pyramid. That was the coolest thing that we did.
Yeah.
And getting the stasis power. So I'm tormented by memories of PvP that year also.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
So House of Wolves is my next one.
Yeah, you love House of Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, I just, this is the campaign that got me like back into Destiny. Like,
yeah.
It was, yeah, I mean, Skolas was a pain in the ass, but I don't know. I kind of liked that campaign quite a bit. It was way better than Dark Below. I'll give it that, but still kind of mid at this point compared to everything that came after. So yeah, that's my next one.
My next one, I'm going D2 vanilla. I can't in good conscience put it any higher, but I really do like the Red War. I think Red War is an underrated campaign. It had a lot of bloat in it, but the story beats are awesome. It has some of the best music in the series as well. The opening and closing missions in particular inside the city are phenomenal. They're phenomenal. They're some of the best set pieces ever. Journey is playing during it. It gave me my all-time favorite tower theme when you first load into the tower, which is the current tower music still, and I'm really excited about that. They brought it back after Final Shape. I've always said that specific piece of music called The Last City is Destiny to me. Like, when I think of Destiny, that's the piece of music I think of.
Yeah.
So I really love that. I just, God, it's up there on nostalgia alone. But yeah, I've got vanilla D2 there.
My next one is Beyond Light. I think
you're a lot higher on this than anybody higher. I know, I think.
Yeah. I think Stasis was cool. I think the campaign was, I still think that Europa is a pretty cool location. I think the stuff that happens there outside of the campaign is much more interesting than the campaign itself. But I also really like Deepstone, so that gave it kind of a bump for me.
Yeah,
I mean, man, the space station and the music is still like top tier in terms of just visuals, and I don't know, man, it's good. I love it.
My next one is Warmind. Again, I can't put Warmind any higher than this. Warmind is what got me back into D2. I really, really like Warmind. I have fond memories of grinding Escalation Protocol and then finally getting the stupid shotgun, finally getting the final wave of Escalation Protocol done. That was awesome. Like, just getting random people into lobbies until we could actually get a full 9 stack in there was awesome. I actually really like the story of Warmind, even though it's like really compact and concise. Obviously, fighting Zol is a little silly, and same with Nokris, but I still like it overall. It advanced the Rasputin plotline after all these years, also, which was really nice.
Yeah, we got Polaris Lance out of it too, which was okay.
We got Polaris Lance out of it also. Yeah, I got my favorite SMG ever, the Ikelos SMG. I got that out of it, so that'll always earn it a few points in my book.
Yeah.
And now it's to you.
What are we at? Top 5 now? That's what we're at?
No, I think we still got...
Oh, no.
I think top
there's
6
left. Okay, yeah, so Rise of Iron.
Yep.
At number 6.
Yep, we both know what number 6 is. Number 6 is absolutely Rise of Iron.
Yeah, I mean, I love Rise of Iron. I know, like, that's a very weird campaign to love, especially since it was, like, kind of rushed and really short, and
It
just
was never supposed to exist.
Yeah, it was just this weird anomaly. But I think that's part of why I love it, is because like I think because they were so rushed, they did some really interesting things, and I think the Siva plotline is really dumb and interesting and
It's
stupid.
so stupid. I hate it.
Oh my gosh, it's like
it's like a bad Michael Bay movie. It's so bad.
yeah. Well,
We're in a world with space magic and we care about nanites. Awesome.
yeah,
Fucking awesome. The cool thing that came out of it was Outbreak Prime. But I
Yeah.
can't put it any lower either because I recognize like how much people like it. Outbreak Prime is maybe the best community puzzle of all time that we've done.
dude. I remember when we were trying to figure that out.
Outbreak
It
Prime
was
is
so
awesome. Wrath of the Machine is an awesome raid. The Death Zamboni will live forever. I don't like the Plague Lands, but I mean, like those two things elevate it so much for me. Getting Ephrodite, is that who we got?
Yep.
Is that who we got? Yeah,
Yep.
we got a new vendor for Iron Banner, which was really cool. The boon system was cool. I enjoyed all that. Just very weird. Like, oh, you're the first of the new Iron Lords, and then that's it. Like, we never addressed this ever again outside of being called Young Wolf.
Yeah,
I don't know. It kind of exists in this weird gap for me between like bad and like it's like the best of the pretty okay ones for me, which is like Beyond Light, D2 Vanilla, Warmind, and then Rise of Iron. It was just like this stretch of mediocrity in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But now we're on to the top 5. And this is we both have the same top 5 in different orders though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll let you I'll go first. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 5, I got Taken King. Taken King cannot go any higher on this list after just the pinnacles that we've seen with Destiny 2 at this point. I like Taken King. Taken King, again, is what saved me in D1 from, putting the game away forever. I had to really be coaxed back into doing Crota and into coming back for House of Wolves. This is awesome. I love the King's Fall raid, but we've gone so far past this in terms of plots, in terms of, and only recently in terms of like locations. Like Heresy really reminded me how much I love exploring the Dreadnought. I love all the stupid secrets. It was really cool. It was the first campaign we got like that, and then we didn't get that again until Forsaken, which is really aggravating. But Taken King, number 5 on my list. I cannot in good conscience put it any higher than any of the top 4 from Destiny 2. Story-wise, I'm especially thinking story-wise right now. I just cannot go higher.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
number,
because this is a campaign ranking ultimately, even though we talked about like raids and shit, this is a campaign ranking.
Yeah. So Forsaken is my number 5.
Okay.
And I think a lot of these could be, except for maybe the top 2, could be interchangeable on whatever day you ask me. Forsaken was, I kind of dropped off of Destiny 2 for a little bit after obviously the Curse of Osiris was not great and people were wondering what was going to happen with Destiny. I'm like, well, I'm going to go play other stuff while they're sorting this out. And then, I think the plot line where they literally killed everybody's favorite character was intriguing enough to at least bring a lot of people back to see why they're doing that. So that was a cool storyline, but like also, all the stuff that followed, like Crow and figuring out some of these other things that were going on during that time was really interesting and cool. And they kind of reinvented Destiny at that point. And
sure,
I mean, that's, like I said, this could be 3 on some days. But how I'm feeling right now, I'm gonna put it number 5.
It's gonna be my number 4. I got Forsaken at 4. And part of it's probably recency bias. I also can't go back and play the campaign for obvious reasons. But
why not, Josh? Tell us.
The fucking
sentimental.
Yeah. But as it exists in my mind, I did like the plot of it, even knowing the Cade plot the Cade twist ahead of time. That was really good. I think it's even better in retrospect when you consider the journey that Crow will ultimately go on after Uldren dies. I think it leading into the Last Wish raid is just one of the most bonkers things that I've ever seen in this game. Obviously Last Wish not part of the campaign, but Last Wish is fucking incredible. So Yeah, I've got it. I've got Forsaken at number 4, and I think part of that's because of recency bias. But again, on a given day, this could probably swap out the number 3. But I feel pretty confident in my top 3. So
Yeah.
Give me number 4, Corey.
Number four is Edge of Fate.
Wow, I did not expect that.
I really like it. I think it's I think it's lower because in future iterations of this, depending on how the story goes and what happens, and like as we figure things out,
we'll
in
move
retrospect, things kind of change. But I think it's really a really good soft reset of the franchise and the mechanics and how you do certain things in the game, and Lodi and everything we kind of talked about early on in this episode is learning more about Ikora's past and Lodi and Orin, and I think these are great new characters that hopefully we'll see more screen time sooner than later. So
yeah, I've got the Witch Queen at number 3 for pretty obvious reasons. I love the story of Savathun getting the light, and it turns out she didn't steal it. We eventually learned that she saved the Traveler from the Witness, that she ultimately helped stop the collapse. Even though she has no love for humanity, she does have love for the Traveler, and was the one who saw through the lies and the deceit of the Witness. I think that whole journey you go on there is really cool. I like Finch as a character. I like the detective angle, but for everything I like about it, Edge of Fate does it just a little bit better. Edge of Fate did for me, in terms of the exploration, what I desperately wanted to do in Lightfall and Witch Queen, in terms of exploring the world and finding secrets.
Yeah.
So, that's Witch Queen, my number 3. And I mean, my top, I don't think my top 3 is really interchangeable, but it's pretty solidly there. It's still a really, really, really good campaign, good solid length, not a lot of filler, etc.
Yeah. My number
deep sight mechanic is good.
Yeah. My number 3 is the Taken King.
Okay.
I really like the campaign, but that whole like that a year and a half to 2 years of just that campaign and the updates, and I mean obviously King's Fall I love, but there's a lot of camaraderie during that time for me and my fire team.
Sure.
That has a lot to do with it too, I think. When you build that bond with a fire team, it kind of, and exactly how everybody plays at all times, and where everybody's going to be. And I don't know, it just, that campaign and that raid and stuff mean a lot to me personally. And so that's why it's so high. I know it hasn't really aged particularly well, but that's where it sits for me.
My number 2 is Edge of Fate. For everything that we discussed about tonight, I think the mechanics are awesome. It's a great soft reboot. It's got a great insight into who Ikora was. It's got great character work for Drifter. Lodi is immediately a very compelling new character. I like the addition of there's actual dialogue boxes popping up from NPCs now. Like, it feels so Fallout, is what Joasis was saying. Like, it feels like it's ripped straight out of Fallout. I agree to an extent. Like the data pads that are scattered, having Maya as an antagonist, which I didn't expect, but I guess I should have when I saw that there were Vex here. I thought that was really cool how heavily utilized she was in the campaign. The Archon, pretty clearly not dead. Very excited to learn more about the 9. I think it's a great mystery to start out with, and we kind of have at least an end goal that we can kind of see right away. Obviously, they're not going to tip their hand right now as to what the end game is, but we have what we think is an end game goal of binding the 9 to avert a coming catastrophe. Learning more about how the 9 inhabit the bodies of their vessels is also interesting. Learning they cannot materially exist in our plane is fascinating. I'd love to know how the 9 actually came to exist, because it's clear that they existed, that something happened to cause them to exist, whether that happened as a result of the collapse or the Traveler spreading its light during the collapse to push back the Witness or whatever. There's so many mysteries there laid out, but I like that. I actually really do like the mechanics. I found them tedious at times, but I think the mechanics are still good, and just great character work. So, your number 2, Corey.
I mean, my number 2 is the Witch Queen.
Yeah.
I think that campaign is definitely, it's one of the best things they've done. Bungie has done maybe ever, right? I mean,
yeah,
definitely since the Halo trilogy, in my opinion.
It stands up there with Halo 2 and 3 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
All these top 5 do.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how much more I can say about it.
Yeah, we've talked plenty about it in the past.
Yeah. So,
and then number 1 for both of us, absolutely no surprise, it's the Final Shape.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's the culmination of 10 years. How do you even close that out? For everything that we talked about on last year's pod, you guys can go listen to it. Still maybe my favorite episode we've ever done.
Yeah.
For all the reasons, everything we've talked about for the last year, it made the whole journey worth it. It is an immensely satisfying conclusion, and I've said it multiple times. I even said it after finishing the campaign this time. I really love this campaign, but if the franchise had ended with the Final Shape, I would not have cried. I would not have shed one tear over it.
No, I mean, and for many, that was where they ended, right? I mean, that's.
I know multiple people who just will not come back after that, and I don't blame them.
Yeah,
I don't blame them. They have that awesome memory of Excision, and they're just done. They didn't even do SE; they just did Excision, and they're done. So it is what it is. And I like how Salvation's Edge slotted in between the final 2 missions of the campaign, between Iconoclast and that. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you have it, folks. Final Shape still on top. Was it nostalgia, or is it because it was just that damn good? It's a little bit of both. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. This is my favorite game world, though. I will say that. This is my favorite planet to explore with mysteries. I love mysteries. I like my shooters to have mechanics, and this definitely has a lot of that. So Edge of Fate's up there for me.
Yeah. Plus,
but you can't go wrong with any of these 5. Like, if you were trying to give somebody the quintessential 5 Destiny stories to play, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
One last thing about the Final Shape too, and
it's
kind of a selfish thing, sort of. I mean, people who've been following us for a long time, Josh, know that a Destiny podcast was my first podcast that I did. Not this one, but Weekly Strike was my first Destiny podcast, and like trying to create content for as long as we have, and the fact that the Final Shape, we were in the Accolades trailer for that meant a lot. So that it's always going to be up there for me, I think, and for maybe that reason alone. On top, I mean, obviously it was an awesome campaign and a great culmination, but it was a culmination in a lot of things for me personally. So that was that's kind of all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah. And I think we're out of here.
Yeah. Edge of Fate. It's out. Hope everybody enjoys the raid race this weekend, whether you're participating or watching or just checking Twitter every 5 seconds to see what's going on. And
yeah, I can't wait to see these weapons. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the weapons, the armor, the encounters, all that stuff. So, but yeah, Josh, we're gonna
let's get on out of here.
I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. You can catch us on Fridays on your favorite podcast of choice or on YouTube. You can subscribe. You can tell your friends. Rate us on podcast services. Josh, thank you for your time as always.
Always.
You are the best part of this show, no doubt. So everybody show Josh some love in the comments, because you guys, Josh always brings it. Anyways, and I appreciate everybody out there for watching and or listening. Thank you for that. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.